Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's the CJ. I'm going to jump right into this update on the 120 gallon reef. Now make sure you stick around to the end because I will be giving away 2 of these $25 gift cards to Lazy's Frag House. Now for those that don't know what that is, Lazy's Frag House is a basement guy slash online retailer that has tons of candy available. Softies, LPS, SPS, Zoas, Palys, clams, tanked rays, fish, whatever you want to call it. He has it there. Now for those that actually want a good look at everything, go stop by Murphy's Reefing's channel. He just did a complete store tour and I was amazed to find out just how much stuff he had that was not even listed on his website, so definitely go check him out. Upon further inspection, I did notice a small vent hole on the side of the box and I was wondering what the heck is that for. So after asking around and speaking with Rico's Reef Tank and a few other YouTubers, I discovered it actually aerates the box and it helps keep the heat packs warm. Who would have thought that, right? But after opening the box, everything was very neatly packed, actually wrapped in aluminum foil, I guess to contain the heat, double bagged, no leaks, no issues at all. And this was a mystery box. I literally had no idea what was actually in here. I sent him a list of, a wish list, so to say, as far as space filling corals I may have wanted, maybe even a few other corals that maybe if he had available, and he did not disappoint. So we're gonna get these guys acclimated, get these guys dipped, and eventually get these guys mounted, and I'll share everything that I got in the system with you guys here soon. So after letting these guys float in the sump for roughly an hour, temperature acclimation is complete, so we can finally pop this bag open, or these bags open, and take a closer look at these corals. I think it's very important that everyone takes a moment to, acclimate your corals, dip your corals, and more importantly, inspect your corals. Especially when you're getting shipped from online vendors and different places you haven't had a chance to actually view their systems. Definitely rather be safe than sorry. No knock to Lazy Corals or anyone else. It's just a good practice in general to make sure that you're protecting your system. So with all that being said, I didn't find one single thing wrong with these plugs. But what am I looking for exactly? Well, for anyone that's new, I would highly encourage you to find anything that's moving first of all. If it's moving, good or bad, it's better to just go ahead and get it off the plug, kill it, remove it, and not introduce it to your system unless you know exactly what it is. Second rule of thumb, you definitely want to keep an eye out for any other hitchhiker corals, whether it's GSP, Xenia, Aptasia, Anemones, whatever the case may be. If you see anything else on that frag plug besides the coral that you wanted to purchase, probably want to get that removed too, because you never know, once again, what you're introducing to your system. Always better to be safe than sorry. So at this point, I'm pretty sure all of you are dying to find out what came in the mystery box. And here we go. Gonna be perfectly honest with you guys, I've never really been, a huge fan of Zoanthus or Palys, at least not to the point to where I can hear a name, close my eyes, and imagine the coral. Some people are at that point, but I'm just not there yet. So I was really interested to see what these look like when they opened up in my tank, and I tell you, wow, was I pleasantly surprised. The colors of these guys, the size of them, the health of the corals, the amount of polyps that came with each coral was fantastic. Now, I'm not sure if this is normal or, what you should expect from every place you buy corals from, but I'll tell you, this is definitely a great sign of a good business with Lazy's Frag. So for those that are curious, I've dropped the names below each coral in the subtitle. I don't remember them all, and I probably won't, but what I will remember are these colors and the potential these guys are going to add to my tank. So really looking forward to finding places to mount these guys, and hopefully, at the end of the day, I can finally complete my 100% coral coverage plan for this aquascape and for this tank, wall to wall, packed with tons of candy, cavities, diabetes, everything in between whenever you look at my reef tank. So for those that are watching wondering, why are you doing this entire video in all blues, gel filters, mounting the corals in blues, like what is the point? It's all about the fluorescence, guys. A lot of these corals we purchase look totally different underneath the blue lights. And if you never mount corals this way, you really are going to miss out big time. When things grow in, things fill in, you may have something out of balance as far as the color spread in your tank, or you may want that super bright coral in a different spot that you just can't see when all the lights are turned on with white and full spectrum. So I really feel like everyone should mount your corals in all blues if you can, or at least do it half the time to make sure you're evenly spacing out your tank. So some of you may be wondering, what is my next master plan when it comes to these Palys and zoanthus? Answer is very simple, guys. These are going to be my space filling corals. I'm going to strategically place these guys based on coloration or spacing in between SPS to help fill in the gap. Whether it's to, add contrast in between two green acros or two similar color SPS, or to help fill in a gap to where I know it's too small to put a third acro in there. Now, there was one particular part of my tank that was very, nerve-wracking as far as what to do with, and it had to be the top left peak. In the JBJ, I covered this with GSP, worked out great. In this tank, I'm going to try covering this entire thing with Meteor shower. Just imagine the entire peak covered with that beautiful teal red polyp color. And we're also going to find out if the Meteor shower on top and the light grows faster than the Meteor shower on the bottom left of the peak. Those are traditionally lower light corals. So running tons of experiments in this tank, also mentioning, the Palys growing besides SPS corals. So we're going to find out, are the Palys going to overrun the SPS and kill everything? Is the Meteor shower going to die up there in all that light and flow? There's tons of questions that we're going to answer in this tank, and I'm going to be happy to document it for you guys like usual. But overall, very happy with the results. As you guys can tell, contrasting colors, the SPS, the Palys, it's all coming together, and I'm very looking forward to it. So even with all those new additions, there's still a few places in the tank that I have some serious plans for. Starting with my future acan garden. This entire leg is going to be covered wall to wall with acans. I'm just waiting on, sourcing the right kind, the funds becoming available, but the plan is to have a complete living, breathing acan garden, fluffy, fat, polyps sticking out, and just really taking over this part of the tank. So stay tuned for that, because that'll probably be my next coral splurge, or coral haul, if you want to call it that. The next area I'm going to address is going to be beside my clam and lobo. Unfortunately, the bubble coral that was here ended up not making it, due to multiple reasons, alkalinity fluctuations, pH fluctuations, too much flow, dropping corals on top of it by mistake, and then last but not least, it getting flipped over in the sand bed by my cigar rise for days and days. So, at the end of the day, we're going to move forward, and I'm going to create a full lobo garden in this area in its place. Really looking forward to it. I think I can pull it off, and even better, I think I can increase my flow with doing so. Now, the third part I want to change, it's going to be to my Euphilia garden. It looks good, I'm not going to lie, it's plump and happy, but it's just too many redundant colors in this area. That green frog spawn in the middle, I would love to replace with some kind of gold or orange hammer coral. Definitely trying to source that, and if I find it, I will be swapping out those corals for sure. Now, some people always forget this, but I think it's very important to consider the different angles you're going to view your tank. When you're placing a coral, you got to think of viewing it from the front and the side if you're going to have both sides available. Now, in my situation, the right side definitely is coming along, but still has a lot of work to be done. The acan garden on the left will help fill in that front leg, but on the right, what am I going to do with it? So that is the question. I'm really considering adding some chalice corals here, lower light corals, maybe something really colorful, maybe different types of monicap. Really not sure, but I do have some prime real estate on this side of the tank that definitely is going to work great as far as trying something new. So that's another place of concern, not the top priority, but definitely something I'm paying attention to. And the last and final concern, if you want to call it that, is going to be my torch garden that I'm slowly working on. Now, for those that have not followed my live streams or caught any of my recent videos, I did find an amazing looking gold torch, roughly 4 to 5 heads, and it's looking spectacular. I can't lie to you guys. And it really is serving as a great centerpiece. Now, I'm going to surround that guy with corals that are going to help contrast and help him, show his best. So I put a purple coral on the bottom, a purple torch, and I want to offset them as well with some kind of lemon lime or green torch to the right. And I think this whole area with movement, with the red anemone, is going to look really, really good once I'm done with it. You know, we are getting so close to finally putting the last corals in this tank. I know some of you guys are looking at this tank and thinking, man, CJ, like, it's already enough corals, enough coloration in there, right? I'll tell you guys, I would agree with it if I just didn't see so many spots of purple that looked empty. To be perfectly honest with you, I probably could stop adding corals right now and let this grow in and be perfectly fine, but I just think that major area of concern on the bottom right, you know, with the acan garden and the gaps in between the torches will definitely need to be fixed. Everything else, honestly, I could let go, but that's not the point of this hobby. You know, you don't just kind of settle for what's there and be done with it. You always push the limits. You know, you always see just how far you can go and just how beautiful a piece of artwork you can create. And that's the goal for me. You know, before the 1 year mark hits, which is coming up very, very quickly, actually, I want to have every coral in the tank that I'm going to grow out for year 2. It also applies to equipment. You know, my ultimate goal is to have all the equipment changes, the radion lights installed, UV sterilizer, whatever other equipment I'm going to add, all the corals in place, everything I'm going to change completed. So that way when year 2 hits, we can seriously focus on locking in everything. No other changes, no additions of fish, no additional corals, no other changes to stability, and just really seeing if I can make this tank grow. You know, it's one thing to look good and maintain. It's another thing to have an abundance of growth and really showing that next level in the hobby, which is what I'm trying to get to. So other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this quick update. I know it was all blues for those that don't like it, but for those that do enjoy it, I'm telling you, it's really a treat. And I can really see why people really, you know, prefer to look at their tanks at night. So with that being said, we're going to cut out of here. So as always, hey, you guys can like, comment, subscribe. You guys keep doing what y'all do. Y'all be easy and happy reefing. Peace.